Every year around Halloween, we delve into our Ozarks unknown. This year, we paid a visit to one of the oldest homes in our Ozarks life to see if anything goes bump in the night. Just south of the Ozark Mill is the Weaver House, and it's seen a lot of history.
The thing I'm most proud of is just what we've been able to do for the property.
We didn't really know that this would be an Airbnb.
Owners Scott and Ann Kaufman bought what's called the oldest standing structure in Ozark.
Somewhere between 1842 and 1855.
John Weaver built this home overlooking the mill that he co-owned with William Lawing. Shortly after its completion, the Civil War broke out, and the Battle of Ozark happened just down the road. You can see the stone chimney turns to brick midway up. That's where a cannonball hit the home.
I have a cannonball that was given to me by a previous owner, a small one that he found in the wall.
During the war, the Weaver House was used as a field hospital. It's not known how many, if any, soldiers died upstairs from their wounds. The records just weren't kept.
And there are some stains. I don't know if they're blood or not, but there are definitely some signs of something that is still on the floor up there. It's still the original floor.
The Kaufmans did learn the story of at least one death, though, that happened in the house years later.
There was a stagecoach stop at the corner. There was a little girl that was ill, and they brought her into the Weaver House, and apparently she passed away here in the house.
After the war, it said the infamous bald knobbers would hold secret meetings upstairs. The proof? This image on the floor.
They burned an image of their mask into the floor.
The history of the house turned positive in the late 1930s when area architect Don Russell's mother, Lucy, bought the home, and it was transformed into an elegant house.
Don Russell had reclaimed the windows and doors from an old vaudeville theater and an old bank. All those things are super unique, and you don't see it every day.
But in recent decades, after years of neglect, the ceiling was leaking and the awning was pulling away. And so the Kaufmans bought the house to save it.
It was in very bad shape. It had been vacant for 12 years.
Yeah, it needed a lot of work, but you know, it was just really neat.
As the couple began working on the old home, they noticed they weren't alone.
I clearly heard footsteps in here. I mean, I was so certain of it that I called out to Ann, and she didn't answer, so I called out again, and I still could hear footsteps, so I came in here. Nobody.
One day I was talking with someone at the door, and there was a presence over my right shoulder. And I just kept talking, and it was really cold.
And so I called my friend David Glidden, who has a YouTube series called Haunting History. This is the 8th time I'll follow David for a paranormal investigation in the Ozarks.
The history is immaculate. I love the history here. So there's a lot of things that we can kind of dive into when we're doing our questions during our EVP sessions and to try to elicit any kind of response.
Were there any bodies buried nearby? Bodies.
Next Friday, we'll have part 2 of our story. Did David find anything unusual in his hours of video and audio from that night? In the meantime, we have a link to the historic Weaver House's Airbnb site so you can see or even book your own stay. Are you ready for a ghost story from our Ozarks life on this Halloween? This morning, we wrap up our 2-part look at the historic Weaver House in Ozark. When the paranormal investigators turned out the lights, did any former guests make their presence known? Just south of the Ozark Mill is the oldest standing structure in Ozark, the historic Weaver House.
My dad wanted to purchase it years ago.
Owners Scott and Ann Kaufman bought the Weaver House a few years back and created an Airbnb, and the reviews have been great.
They love the home. They say it's very cozy. They've also said, hey, I've met your ghost.
Built somewhere between 1842 and 1855 by John Weaver, this house was a makeshift Civil War field hospital, a meeting spot for the infamous vigilante group the Bald Knobbers. But in recent decades, the Weaver House sat vacant, decaying into history.
It was in very bad shape. It had been vacant for 12 years.
Shortly after buying the property and repairing it, the Kaufmans believed they weren't alone. From phantom footsteps to the feeling of someone standing over your shoulder, experiences started happening.
I was coming home, it was around probably 11:30, and I noticed that there was a light on upstairs. And I opened the door and just had this foreboding feeling something is up there. And I shut the door and went home.
So I called my friend, paranormal investigator David Glidden. He has a YouTube series called Haunting History.
This place hasn't been investigated a lot. So with that being said, there's not a lot of experiences for us to go off of.
Once the lights were turned off, David started in the upstairs bedroom. This is where it's believed the bald knobbers would hold their secret meetings.
Just touch or get close to that antenna.
While asking questions into the dark, we had a REM pod in the room. If an energy comes close to its antenna, the REM pod would give off a noise and light up.
Can you knock? No. Yes. No. That was great.
While the camera did not have a view of it, I was sitting right across the room and saw it. David was not close enough to the device to set it off. Here it is again.
Can you knock?
David tried to make it happen again, even shook the dresser the REM pod was sitting on, and it would not go off.
You have to be like right on it. Yep.
The activity, though, quickly died down, so we moved to the other bedroom. This is where the Kaufmans learned the story of a young girl who had died inside this room.
If you come upstairs, can you just stomp your feet?
Here, David thought he heard a female voice, but the evidence was inconclusive.
Chad started digging through some books and found a couple names that had a lot of association with the house. So we started calling out for Lucy, and we started calling out for Mary Ann.
Lucy, are you here?
So in the living room, David and his friend John Long started asking questions if former owner Lucy Russell or the original owner, Mary Ann Weaver, were here.
Mary Ann, are you here?
Eventually, David turned on a spirit box. It scans radio frequencies for static noise, and it's believed that spirits could use their energy to communicate through those frequencies.
Were there any bodies buried nearby? Bodies? Bodies.
All night, just as fast as activity would happen, it would die down. As we were packing up for the night, though, David found one more piece of evidence when going through his hours of audio recordings days later, and it sounds like someone was happy to see us leave.
Like a secret knock.
Probably.
Because they did, it'd be good to know, and then
Right.
try it.
Here's that part again 2 times.
Like a secret knock.
Probably.
Because they did, it'd be good to know, and then
Right.
try it. It'd be good to know, and then
Right.
try it.
Whatever it is, if it's haunted, I'm not too afraid of it.
We have a link to the Weaver House's Airbnb site so you could see and book your own stay and do a little investigating while you're there. And you can also find part 1 of this series at KY3.com as well.